Humans and dogs have had mutually benefiting relationships for thousands of years, and the experience of living with a dog is immensely gratifying. However, these relationships do not succeed without assuming proper control and responsibility over the actions of your dog. According to the Humane Society of Canada, at least one person suffers harm from a dog every 60 seconds in Canada. Dogs have the potential to attack, bite, and chase humans for an endless amount of reasons. However, in many cases, it occurs because of human negligence. Hi there, my name is Hayden Campbell, and today I will be sharing a story with you about a dog attack that happened in my family, and then I will describe how it relates to the laws in British Columbia. Just before I jump into the story, however, I will provide you with a brief understanding of the laws that govern dog-related injuries in BC. Residents in BC who are a victim of dog-related harm are able to seek compensation for the damages caused under negligence and the scienter doctrine, which are both categories of tort law. In order to prove the dog's owner liable under negligence, the plaintiff must show that the owner failed to take reasonable care to prevent such injury from occurring. To prove liability under scienter, the plaintiff must prove that the rightful owner of the dog had previous knowledge about their dog's tendency or inclination to be vicious or aggressive. In other jurisdictions in Canada, such as Ontario, victims of dog attacks do not need to prove negligence nor scienter in order to be awarded compensation, which provides little importance to the circumstances of the attack and focuses solely on the damages caused. For BC residents, this provides dog owners with a much higher chance to be found not liable, which is important for situations where victims may be partially responsible for the harm caused, such as by trespassing or through provoking the dog. Personally, I believe that the laws governing dog-related injuries in BC are more just when compared to other provinces and jurisdictions because they take all sides of the situation into account while determining liability. Now I will jump into Sophie's story. A couple of years ago, Sophie was jogging around our neighborhood by her lonesome, as she routinely did. However, this cloudy afternoon jog took an unforeseeable twist as Sophie was rushed by an off-leash German Shepherd. This dog seemed to have viewed Sophie as its next meal. Thankfully, however, it took off just as fast as it came in, but not without a chunk out of Sophie's thigh. Sophie made it home safe that afternoon, but not without a trip to the ER and a new internalized fear of off-leash dogs. The physiological harm that can stem from dog attacks is very damaging and may be more severe than the physical harm caused. It can cause anxiety, depression, fear, and even post-traumatic stress disorder, which can disrupt almost every aspect of one's life. This highlights why victims of dog attacks are so deserving of compensation. Eventually, my family located the owner of the aggressive German Shepherd who attacked Sophie, and we intended to civilly discuss the steps that were needed to peacefully resolve the situation with the owner. But to our surprise, we were met by an owner who was even more aggressive than their dog had been. This owner was in complete denial of his dog's actions and refused to remedy the situation. Nonetheless, our family decided to not take any further legal recourse. So who was at fault? With my new understanding of law, I can analyze this situation and conclude that the dog's owner was 100% liable for the attack. The owner clearly failed to take the reasonable amount of care in preventing their dog from causing injury to others because they did not even have a fence to control the dog, which a reasonable person would surely have in order to minimize the risk of attacks. On top of this, Sophie did not commit any contributory negligence, as she was not trespassing, she did nothing to provoke the dog, and therefore she did not contribute in any way to the occurrence of the attack. Although we did not seek legal recourse, I am very confident that we could have proven the owner liable under negligence, as the owner clearly failed to take the reasonable steps in preventing their clearly aggressively tempered and agitated German Shepherd from harming my sister. In conclusion to Sophie's story, it thankfully did not take long for her to heal both her physical and mental wounds, as our family provided her with immense levels of love, support, and guidance through this tough time. However, others are not as lucky as Sophie, and some victims may never be able to get over the trauma caused by dog attacks. Personally, I regret not taking legal action against the owner, as this individual clearly demonstrated to us that they are in no way fit to be responsible for a dog, and this brings me to my next and final conclusion. From experiencing this situation, I have become a true believer of the idea that there is no such thing as a bad dog breed, and that all dogs are only a reflection of their caregivers. There is no such thing as a bad dog, just a bad owner. The end. Thank you all so much for listening, and feel free to leave comments. Here are my references. And I would just like to thank Gary for another great semester of criminology. Take care, everybody.